I've been heavily emphasizing the mental aspect of this, health, fitness, performance, whatever it may be, um, and the significance of it over the physical component of it, because your ability to stay motivated, your ability to stay disciplined with this, your ability to build any type of momentum and push this thing forward, all of it is rooted and starts with how you mentally approach it. And a lot of people want to skip this step because it does take time. It takes patience. And instead, people want to kind of put the cart before the horse and just take the physical thing that they saw online or that they listened to in a podcast and just stack it on top of things that are going on, not really looking at, the whole picture from life to stress, to family, to social things you're dealing with, and not really looking at the whole landscape of how you're going to implement this thing. And this is for people who are trying to take better care of themselves, people who are trying to be in better shape, and people who are professional athletes that we have here who are trying to perform better and do better physically and mentally in their career. What I keep trying to educate people on, or attempt to have people think about differently, is when you do these things, when you sit in a space where it allows you to kind of think things through, everything through, it's helping you to remove things. So much of what we do in this existence, especially when it comes to the fitness industry or performance, part of it, or, the athletic side of it as well, is it's so much in addition to things. Add this, add more nutrition, add more workouts, add more, cardiovascular things. Add more practices, add more work. We keep adding things to the pile, and we don't remove things that are potentially can be distractions. And a lot of those distractions are rooted inside you mentally, and it takes a significant amount of time to kind of peel those layers back and really, discover what it is that could potentially be a distraction, because whatever you're doing physically wise, fitness wise, performance wise, a lot of it is monotonous. A lot of it is just the same thing over and over and over again. And those things, for a lot of people, and people who are dedicated, they become boring. There's a lot of boredom rooted in there. And with that boredom, can prevent you from moving forward. And it's not to say that things aren't potentially or going to be, for lack of a better word, boring. But it's how you perceive it and how you think about it. Like a lot of the fighters here, the warm up is the same, the jump rope is the same, the movements are the same combinations over and over again, so you get better at it. But what you find is, when with boredom and doing things that are boring, when you start thinking about them too much, that's when it starts to kind of beat you up a lot. Like a lot of people, when they first come in here, are really surprised that when they want to start boxing, how much jumping rope they have to do, how much jumping rope they have to do in the very beginning of this, how much jumping rope they have to keep doing, and the significance of it. And if you're thinking too much about it, and you're thinking about, like my feet and my hands, or this is the 100th, 200th, 2000th time I've done this, that boredom can get the best of you. The Delico, when he's coaching, whether that's, veteran fighters, whether it's youngsters, where it's like people who are just trying for fun, you will hear him echoing here over and over and over. Don't get bored. Don't get bored. And again, like a lot of that boredom comes from thinking, and you can remove that thinking part of it when you sit in silence, when you sit in space, and remove the things that potentially can become a distraction, like your mental component of this, of doing the same thing over and over again, will become less boring, or just your perception or how you perceive the boredom will be a lot better, because it is the repetitiveness of this has a lot of success in it. And that's one of the main things that gets people from moving forward. They like, oh my God, it's the same thing over and over again. But you should be so lucky. I don't think people really understand the significance of how beneficial it is that you get to do the same routine over and over again. And that potentially could be where your fountain of youth lies. It could be where your highest performance, your highest level of performance in your professional career, if you're an athlete, where that lies. It's the same thing over and over again. But before that to happen, you have to remove things out of your brain. You got to get things out of there. So when you sit in spaces like this, when I'm trying to encourage people to think before they just start throwing physical things on top of it, It's about removing things, removing distractions, removing things you don't care about. You think about the things that are really important to you. You think about the reasons why you want to do these physical acts, whether it's professional or recreational, or just to take better care of your health or yourself, or, a combination of all those things. A lot of that is your thinking and your mental state of being able to remove things that are stuck in there. Again, it's so crowded outside with the noise and potentially, and for most of us, the large majority of it gets crowded in here. So you can't even think about the next thing you have to do. You can't even think about being motivated or disciplined to do the things you need to do, because it's just so noisy in your head. And a lot of that noise is stuff you don't need to listen to, but you won't know to not listen to it until you give time and patience to sitting down, really, really deciphering and peeling back, the things that you care about. And it's not an easy thing to advertise or market. It's in the obvious advertising marketing thing that we do now. The physical part of it triggers a lot of different emotions, and that's why people just jump in on that. They get excited. They get euphoric of like, if I do this, if I lift this, if I run like that, if I work out like the person I'm watching on the screen, I'm going to look like that. And you skip this vital step of really mentally sitting down and understanding what it is that you want to do, why you want to do it, the purpose behind it. And when you sit down with that, you have to get so many other things out of the way first. Removal. You have to remove so many things. So there's space. There's mental space for you to stay motivated, for you to stay disciplined, for you to keep getting up at the same time, for you to keep doing the same routine over and over and over again. If it's crowded in your brain and you were focused on things you don't care about, and you haven't removed things, your environment, maybe potentially people, maybe, the social aspect you have, the circle you run in, other things that are distracting you from moving forward. If you don't spend time and figure out what you really care about when it pertains to your physical wellness, health, performance, and you don't get things out of there and remove that, this train is not going to get moving anytime soon. It definitely is not going to move forward as fast as you would like it to. So the significance of this is not so much the addition. It's not adding things. It is the exercise and the practice of removing things that are insignificant to you so that you can move forward with the things that are significant to you.